I welcome all the eminent guests, delegates, and participants across various virtual platforms to today's program. The Web Clinic series initiative is aimed at harnessing science, technology, and innovation related to MSME and economic sector. Since its launch on 15th October 2020, we have organized 3 weeks of deliberations so far on the focal themes of agriculture sector. Last week was on MSME and economic sector. This week also it is on economic and MSME sector. These deliberations are meant for opportunities in locally productive and globally connected models, S&T interventions for e-marketing linkages, and viable solutions for small and medium enterprises. The series is also aiming at scaling up of technologies as per local needs, exploring the technologies ready for scale up. This web clinic is being relayed on Vigyan Prasar YouTube channel and ISTA Facebook channel. This web clinic is being hosted and implemented by India Science, Technology and Innovation Portal. This portal is centralized one-stop repository system for systemic research activities that includes information on their intricate details, with the vision of providing a single window source of information about science in India by aggregating information on scientific inputs. We at ISTA Portal is an attempt to address the gaps of identified issues and compute the impact of funding to enhance effectiveness. Okay, so let us tune into the web clinic. The session moderators for today are Dr. Ketki Bapat and Dr. Sunil Agarwal sir. Sorry, Dr. Sunil Agarwal sir and Dr. Ms. Visesh Uppal ma'am from WWF India. I welcome Dr. Ketki Bapat ma'am to senior scientist from Office of PSA to set the context and share the thought process behind the ideas and execution of this web clinic. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ranjan, for your kind words. I welcome you all for this interesting web clinic session of today's session, which is themed for MSME and economic sector, one of the pillar of Atma Nirbhar Bharat. I would request Dr. Ranjan to just run the presentations. I am sure that many of the participants, they know about the Science-Society-Setu web clinic, but still for the benefit of viewers, just keep it discreet. Yeah, let it be. So why this web series are web clinic series are planned? Just to augment the social STI infrastructure, livelihood, support with these technologies, with the available community organizations, which is being supported by DST, which will be also a key factor in delivering these technologies to the ground level. So this initiation of this program has been started by with all of us, DST, PSA office, Vicky, Agni, and all those teams. And on 15th of October, we have started. We have deliberated the thematic areas, what we have discussed, depending on the Atma Nirbhar, referring to the Atma Nirbhar initiative, that is agriculture and allied sector, social infrastructure sector, cross-sectoral areas, and MSME and economic sector. Now, these are the objectives. Prabhat, will you please keep this slide for a while? This objective slide, please. Yeah. So, how can we harness this science and technology innovation for better quality of life, livelihood, and equity, inclusiveness for social economic well-being? Also, the strengthening S&T capacity of NGOs and communities involving S&T knowledge organizations. And also the new ideas, new areas, and how can we converge with the new initiatives of the government also. Next, please. Yeah, so these are all, as I discussed, these are all the thematic areas. Please run the slideshow. I will just put the concept. So till date, we have heard the deliberation, expert panel discussions, and the community level efforts also were discussed. And there are some of the opportunities area. We have gathered all these inputs given by the experts also. And with this planned web series, what we are going to plan is that we will discuss it out, and a better mechanism to take these technological interventions to the ground level will be planned soon. Now today's session is very interesting. See, today's session we are actually going to listen to our RUTAG. Two professors are there from RUTAG IIT Chennai and Guwahati, Dr. Kakoti. CSIR also has done a lot of good work in these social rural enterprises, so that we will be hearing, and also followed by the panel discussion. So I would request, so the first session will be actually conducted by Vishesh Uppal from WWF. So now I invite Vishesh Uppalji to conduct this session. Look forward for the interesting sessions. Thank you. Over to you, Vishesh.
Anji. Thank you, Ketki ji. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes.
Hello. Yes. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. I think welcome to the sessions. We have a great opportunity to today listen to Dr. Abhijit Deshpande. He's from IIT Chennai, and he is going to talk to us about what are the contributions of the Rural Technology Action Group, which is set up within the IIT, and they have worked in diverse sectors. So I will not take much time. I would just request Professor Deshpande to please start your talk, sir. Your time is around 12 minutes. We actually are trying to keep to the time so that we have a good, vibrant discussion at the end. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon to all of you. I hope you can hear me, and the slides are also there for everybody. Okay, so what I'll do is quickly talk about some of the technology examples from the experience of Rural Technology Action Group at IIT Madras. So we can go to the next slide, please. So just to recap, it's an initiative from Principal Scientific Advisor's Office, and we've been working on several projects over the last 15 years or so. The key idea is to have the demand, identify the demand, and then based on that provide a technology solution. And so since demand is already identified from either an individual or an NGO or a governmental agency, the key idea for us is to find this fit, which is for the demand that was generated. And there are several sectors in which we carry out activities. For the purpose of today's presentation, I'm just going to look at 4 products, also to give you an idea of what is the level of penetration and readiness of these, and what is the opportunity out there for us to work together, several different stakeholders to come together and proceed forward. So these are in agri-tech, textiles, livelihoods, assistive technology, health and sanitation, and energy. Basically, all of these very important sectors for the rural areas. So can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah, so just to recap, so what I'm going to do is on each slide, the 4 technology that I'm going to focus on, there will be the context setting for each of them. And given that I have short time, what I'll do is just try to give you just quick points about each of them. For example, for small scale paddy thresher, it's related to a small scale farmer where labor availability is not always there, and you can't really go afford and rent a very big heavy duty thresher. So this need arose and was proposed by a farmer itself. And that's where we started working on it, this problem. The electronic jacquard handloom is a grass mat weaving idea. So something which is there for saris and bed sheets and several other types of clothing, but it's not there for weaving grass. So that's the key technology adaptation here, so to speak, where something which is available for textiles was adopted for grass mat. Again, the idea here was that a grass mat was taking 10 to 15 days to make. Can it be done ergonomically well and in much less time, thereby leading to livelihood enhancement? Similarly, the third product that we work quite extensively on is a cold pressed oil expeller, given the importance of the oils we consume and its quality in terms of what are the different chemical composition that we ingest. Cold pressing technology has taken a lot of initiative in the last few years, and this is an effort towards that at a small scale again. And just to give you an idea that since actually all these three products that I'm talking about are ready, in a sense, two of them are already seen several trials, and the third one is ready for a trial at a more advanced stage. The fourth I have just indicated here to say that, you know, while we of course look at different stakeholders for implementing and disseminating, even during the R&D itself, involvement of different stakeholders is very crucial to arrive at the right solution. And so that's something we always strive for and have been successful in many of these projects. So the next slide, please. So these are again snapshots of the small scale paddy thresher, and it's being tried on. Basically, you can just latch it on to an existing small tractor, or you can have a motor. And so we kept in mind the idea of manufacturability, the ease of traveling with this thresher, and then to be able to be used by 2 to 3 people at most. And so we have tried this over 7-8 crops in different locations in Kerala and Tamil Nadu. And so that's the status of it in terms of we have 0 and 1 status, and now the second generation threshers are being manufactured. Electronic Jacquard handloom actually can give us now the capability of doing very detailed design, like the rightmost photograph that you see. Such things were not possible earlier because it all depended on the artist and the capability of that artist. Now, within still the large bracket of handloom, we can get very complicated pattern because we are getting assistance from an electronic jacquard, while the weaving is still being done manually, as the central figure photograph shows. The household cold press oil again is a product which has been shown to be fairly successful in terms of yield and variety of other ways in which you can measure these things. And there are several places where we are getting inquiries in terms of implementing it, not just for groundnut or coconut or sesame, for which we tried, but things like neem and several other seeds for which this kind of a machine can be used. And of course, we are also working at an R&D stage, this affordable and wearable hearing aid. So next slide, please. So the current status, as I mentioned, for small-scale paddy thresher is we are already into the second generation and ready for dissemination. This can also be taken up by an MSME or any other sector in terms of manufacturing large-scale. The second generation also keeps into account the fabrication, ease of fabrication. So not only have we kept in mind the engineering from the point of view of performance, but also fabrication itself. Electron Jacquard handloom, the status is in terms of already we have a common facility center, but diversification in terms of using some of these complicated patterns that we get in terms of product diversification is going on. And affordable and wearable hearing aid, as I mentioned, is still at R&D stage. Next slide, please. So in terms of proposition, each of them contain a very unique value. If you see, for example, for small scale paddy thresher, we are looking at 95 to 98% efficiency. And sometimes this is not even there during manual. And of course, when you have a large scale paddy thresher, the amount of waste is of course much higher. So therefore, and also for Indian traditional varieties where some of the large scale thresher may not work as effectively, the design, since we have kept in mind the variability of some of these rice stalks and what their properties are, we've shown that actually they're very useful in a lot of these varieties which are exclusive to Tamil Nadu and Kerala conditions. Electronic Jacquard, of course, has improved the efficiency majorly, and so extended working time by at least 25%, and improved income has also been achieved. And so yeah, we can go to the next slide. And so the overall costs of these are mentioned here in terms of what the overall, and these costs are of course because we are still looking at maybe 5 to 10 units being manufactured, And if we go to the next stage of having these being made in hundreds or thousands, of course, economies of scale will change these prices very significantly. However, if you look at the market cost of all of these are still competitive at these values itself. So that's something we are still working on in terms of trying to see how to enable these using MSME and other agencies to have a much larger distribution. Next slide, please. So one example, of course, where we've been able to do this in the format, given some of the costs involved, is in terms of a common facility center, which is partly supported either through CSR, like the left-hand side one, which is for pottery, for microwavable pottery. And this is a technology done by RUTAG several years ago, but now we are implementing it in a group so that a larger set of potters can use this. And on the right, we have a common facilities center for grass mat weaving, which is again funded by state government agency. Initial work again was RUTAG's technology development, but the current facility center is being set up with funds from Tamil Nadu Handicraft Development Corporation. And we are implementing it ourselves. So just to summarize, basically RUTAG experience has been to, on one hand, talk to NGOs, individuals, government agencies to get a feed in terms of what are the key technology needs. We use faculty R&D and innovation and student efforts and innovation to try to come up with a technology solution. Of course, a byproduct of all of this is also a very great immersive experience for students generally. And the other key thing is to have constant input from users, innovators, fabricators, and entrepreneurs to try to improve and provide in the end a technology solution which has the highest chance of getting more dissemination at the end of the day. Next slide, please. So I think I've already said this. So problem statements are basically we obtain which are already well defined. We provide seed support to faculty and students so that some of these activities can be taken up, and we constantly engage with users and innovators for the feedback. So with this, I hope I've given you an idea of a few specific technologies, but at the same time also given you an idea of the model that is being followed in terms of trying to achieve this connect of making as many technology solutions available in rural areas at as affordable prices as possible. So with this, I'll stop here. I'll be happy to engage with you later on also post this session. These are some of our contact details. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and I look forward to having a more sustained interactions with many of you later on. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Deshpande. I think it was very informative and also useful, because since you've said that you've taken some of the ideas of the users, farmers itself, and kind of, converted them into usable and affordable technology, I think that is worth listening to. There are certain questions, I'm sure, which people have, and it would be good that, we could have a discussion on these at the open discussion session. I can see some questions also being put into the chat. We can keep track of that. I would now request Dr. Kakoti. Again, he's from another Rural Technology Action Group, which is based in IIT Guwahati. I think what I infer is that this group has RUTAG has a very Northeast focus, which of course is required because Northeast is very distinct culturally as well as ecologically. And I think, and as what I also know is that we've also partnered with them in some way in Arunachal. I do recall that WW India had reached out, and I'm sure we've had a good beneficial relationship. So, Professor Kakoti, please, over to you. Thank you.
Madam.
Yes.
There is one question with Dr. Deshpande about the outreach of the products which they have designed to the community or the fabricators, because that is the point which we would like to know, how much outreach is there, or any enterprise has been created for such products, which is like loom and also the cold press system.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
so Dr. Agarwal, then there's another question, at least in the chat. Should I just then
No,
raise
chat,
that
question on the
later?
chat will be addressed subsequently, but we can have one or
Okay.
two questions immediately. He can respond.
Okay, okay. Sorry, but so Professor Deshpande.
Yeah,
would
I
you
just
like
I'll
yeah.
do it quickly so that
Yeah.
Professor Kakoti can start. Yes, it is indeed a very important point, and in fact, for paddy thresher, we when I said generation 2, it is along with the fabricator itself. So we in each of these projects we try to hook up to one or two fabricators so that not only they help in ease of fabrication now, but later on they can take up this for further work in terms of marketing and having more number of such items being produced. So yes, that's an important point.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Apologies, Professor Kakoti, please, over to you now.
Yeah, so slides will be presented from your side, or should I present?
Yes.
They will present.
Yeah.
So you, okay. Good afternoon, all the participants in today's web clinic. It is a nice opportunity for us also to get exposed to the larger community, what we have been doing for last 14 plus years. So I will just give a very brief presentation here. Please go to the next slide. Yeah, actually, you know, all of you know, actually, this was a concept and in Sidambaram, former principal scientific advisor. So I have shown a photograph with him in IIT Guwahati. So it was basically the objective of RUTAG is actually revamping the rural economy through technological upgradation. And can you make this slide little up? Anyway. Okay, then networking with various S&T groups and NGOs, institutions and agencies. Next slide, please. So present the group, I am a coordinator of this RUTAG IIT Guwahati, and my colleague Siddharth Sinha is a co-PI. We have numbers of engineers, Bikino Bhargav, and also some project technician, Osim Juti, and also an attendant, Hariprasad Sharma. Also, we are supported by some research scholars like Vibhuti Pranay and Nilkamal. They were earlier working with RUTAG. Now they are doing the research here. Next slide. So we normally do interaction with S&T and we work out on some mini projects. We also hold some workshops. Also, we conduct some training programs. We participate in exhibitions. And also, we are very much involved in technology transfer in a different way than the present practice was. Then design and development is part of our work. Then coordinating with S&T institution is also done. Next. So a few of the RUTAG technologies I have listed here. One is your heavy duty bicycle, one is your biomass dryer, then your cocoon opener, then beetle nut cutter, shaft cutter, feed block machine, pedal driven potter wheel, Muga power loom, a patented technology, hang to bobbin, pawn winding and sectional warping machine. So some of the photographs I'm showing you. This is the ladies version of that heavy. Ladies version can carry 150 kg plus and also can be driven very comfortably. The male version is your 200 kg plus load can be taken and it can be driven very comfortably. Then this is a beetle nut cutter for some community people are trying with this beetle nut cutter. It's a very small implement. This can help you in cutting numbers of beetle nut together, depending upon the size. 4 or 6 beetle nut you can cut at a single stroke. Next one is one of the most successful technology we have developed. This is a feed block making machine. Originally, we made it for yaks in Arunachal. Now it is adopted for Mithun by NRC Mithun in Dimapur. Also, many veterinary doctors are trying to implement it for other cattle. The next one is your we have named this as a universal dryer because anything you can dry it. Next. So these are the two bicycles, male and female. This we have implemented in numbers of clusters. And 5 clusters. Actually, we have rural vendors. The rural vendors are going door to door for selling their products. So now they are actually dependent upon this bicycle. So they need not have to rent, or they need not have to buy fuel for driving a vehicle. Next. This is an airy cocoon opener. You know, airy is a type of silk which is available only in the Brahmaputra Valley of Assam. And this is actually a different silk than or Muga silk. This airy silk is actually, you get warm clothing out of this. So we have developed numbers of technology out of this airy silk. This is one of them. This is a cocoon opener. Airy processing is much more difficult than your mulberry silk and Muga silk. So the cocoon is actually broken by the pupa. It comes out. So it is a broken cocoon. So you don't get a continuous thread out of the cocoon. So people get very cumbersome process to take out the threads out of this cocoon. So we have developed this cocoon opener. This is also being implemented at one Tamulpur Anchalik Gamdan Samiti, one Robin Bhai. He has now expired. He actually encouraged us, also adopted this technology. This is in the Bhutan border, Assam-Bhutan border, Umarikada. So this is actually working very fine. Now we are implementing in other clusters also. Next, please. This is the betel nut cutter. I already explained about this. Actually, this betel nut cutter we developed to intervene because we have surveyed in Gwalpara district of Assam, and there we have observed that small children are used for cutting betel nut. And on close look, you will find a lot of finger cuts and other injuries to these little children. So to avoid that, to encourage the adults to carry out this work, we developed this betel nut cutter. This is very cheap one and also a small one. So people are getting very used to this nowadays. Next, please. This is the multi-nutrient compressed feed block. Already I told you. These are the feed blocks we are making, supported by some veterinary doctors, because we do not have the background of what type of food content should be there. So these veterinary doctors helped us in doing that. The technology was developed by us. We were approached by one NGO from Arunachal Pradesh, and then they requested us if it is possible to develop a technology. And we have come up with two different types of, next slide please. We have developed two different machines. One is pure manual, the other one is hydraulically operated. Initially we started with this hydraulically operated because oil is used in hydraulically operated one. So many people thought that there may be some contamination to the food. So we have come up with the pure manual one. Pure manual one is costing around 15,000 rupees only, and the hydraulic one is costing more than 30,000 rupees. Next, please. This is a very small technology. It's a machine. Chef cutters are used particularly by mushroom growers, and you know, there are chef cutters available in the market. These are very large, costly, and very maintenance prone. Actually, a lot of maintenance issues are there. So that is how we have come up with a one tabletop chef cutting machine. This is a very small one. A single person can operate it. The machines which are available in market, at least 2 persons are required to operate that. And so this can be developed by the users themselves. It can be maintained by the users themselves, and its cost is also very low. Next, please. This is actually bamboo charcoal and vinegar production. We have visited one cluster in Garo Hills in Meghalaya, and we have found that they are producing this bamboo charcoal and vinegar production without caring about the environmental pollution. So we we actually decided to in-house system for producing bamboo charcoal and also parallelly vinegar, bamboo vinegar production. And we have scientifically analyzed all these things. The new technology is giving higher calorific value than the traditional method. Also, ash content is low, and this is becoming quite popular now. from one agency from Punjab government and one agency from Maharashtra. They are interested for this. The discussion is going on how to transfer this technology to Punjab and Maharashtra. So along with that, next slide, please. Along with that, actually, we developed this vinegar production also, which is used as actually sort of the pesticides in the in the field. It is a potter's wheel. This is another technology which is very popular now. The demand has been going on increasing, and we have developed this potter's wheel. We have now 4th generation of potter's wheel, and we have modified 4 times actually. It's the same potter wheel, and this is particularly we have developed because of this. There are many female patients who are doing this pottery work. So for them, this is very comfortable, and they are accepting this. Next, please. So we are also conducting some training on management of rural enterprise. We are trying to help those budding entrepreneurs as well as those who are already in that trade by helping them how to go about the financial supports, how to do the business with the government agencies and other units. So we are conducting this almost regularly every year. Next, please. So these are some photographs of some exhibitions and some demonstrations and some workshops. So next, please. So we have also had a donor ministry sponsored big projects, Steiner. We have given 6 different products for this Steiner project. Next, please. So these are implemented through different agencies like NRC Mithun, NRC Young, Ministry of Donor, Eco India, Aranya, Meghalaya Basin Development Authority, Nagaland University, II Guwahati, and many others. Next, please. These are some participating NGOs list. Next, please. Next. There are various institutions and organizations. We are in touch with them for different needs. We are getting collaborations with some of them. Next, please. So this is what is briefly about our work, and I can assure you that if you are interested to get any technology from us, we are at your. We will be very. Glad to give you the products. We are not charging any royalty. We are just thinking of how it can be multiplied and implemented and throughout the nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kakoti, and thank you both for being really good with time. Unfortunately, we just found out that the third speaker from CSIR, Dr. Kundalia, will not be able to join us. He has some personal emergency. Probably he's fallen unwell. So we have a few minutes. So I would, then maybe we just take up 1 or 2 questions for in this time. So there was a question from Dr. Maitri from DA. He says, how does small scale enterprise get the knowledge of all of the technologies being available? This was to Professor Deshpande, but I guess both of you can also answer that. And how do we, or how do others, citizens, other local groups come to know about these technologies? What is the effort made by RUTAC to actually disseminate or do an outreach for that? Can any of you please take it up? Thanks.
Yeah, Professor Deshpande, will you take it?
No, go ahead, Professor Kakoti. You can.
You see, what we are doing actually from the beginning of the thought, we take the end users into confidence. End users are helping us from the beginning. We are actually, if you have noticed in my slides, every product I have mentioned the name of an NGO. So that NGO is the linkage. So we are working with the NGOs. They also help us in getting the raw data, and then what are the requirements, what are not required by the people. All these informations are provided through this NGO, and we are regularly also holding some NGO meets. at different locations. Okay, so that way, actually, we are not only disseminating, we are also searching for the new problems. And that is helping us in the disseminating our technology. And when some other agencies like government agencies come to know, like the donor ministry came to know, and donor ministry approached us, so it is something like that we are actually disseminating. And also, with experience, initially we have a difficulty in producing multiple products. So we have developed some fabricators. We have initiated to develop some fabricators, local fabricators, whom we have given the license to produce on behalf of us. Quality checks are done by us, but they are producing for us. So that is how entrepreneurship development is also going on.
Thank you, Dr. Kakoti. Dr. Deshpande, do you want to add anything? If you are doing anything different?
No, so yeah, in terms of problem formulation, working on, and then trying to disseminate, yes, pretty much similar thing. Over and above that, we are tying up with as many possibilities in terms of having some of these technologies being available on different platforms. So of course, we all have our websites. We have also come out with a compendium in terms of the technologies which have been produced. So in general, the idea is to reach as many people as possible through any of these other tools.
Yes, thank you. In fact, I can...
Vishesh, may I say something?
Hanji, please.
Just
Yes.
As a coordinator of this Rural Technology Action Group program from the PSS office, actually it was started to just give these technological innovations at the ground level with the help of the NGOs or any grassroots level people, those who are working. And we have used this model not only NGOs, even other educational institutions or the experts or the government. We have taken those questions. And as it is rightly said, with the help of this final initiative from the Ministry of Donor and supported by the PSS Office Technological Intervention, we are actually all these rural technology action group centers at 7 IITs. We are all working very closely with different ministries also, and as a PSS office mandate, we are also having a lot of interactions and the mandates we are trying to cope up with, and that's how we are doing it. So in a way, this SETU will be actually a very good opportunity for all these technologies. All these technologies are available, including the hand-holding, which is actually a challenging area or the gap areas for accepting or the assimilating the newer technologies. So that also we, all our expert team provides that technical help also. So any NGOs or anybody would like to adopt this technology, our all RUTAC centers and we are all completely open for their suggestions and the tweaking in. Over. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that was really helpful, and I can imagine, because I know that a few local NGO groups have joined, like from Munger and all, and I'm sure they'll be very interested in technology, like the heavy duty bicycle. Though, and of course, also I think what is interesting is what has been presented is a mix of household use plus MSME, because they were like the cold press machine is for the household level, the cycles are for the household level, but the cocoon, the airy cocoon opener is for an enterprise level. So I mean, this is also a mixture which is probably suited more to local situations, and I would request all the NGOs, like ma'am has said, to reach out and avail of these, or at least get more information on it. I think we can now move to the next session. Dr. Agarwal, I hand over to you, for the panel. Thank you.
Yeah, if you allow, excuse me, I have some other engagement I would like to leave.
Okay, that's Dr. Kakoti, right?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you for being part of this web clinic. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
So now we have a panel discussion of today's event, and we have 5 panelists, and they will be talking about the individual technologies and that is from the knowledge institution from CSIR labs. We have Professor Rajat from IIT Roorkee Design Innovation Center, and we also have Professor Gupta from Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Rural Industrialization, Bardha. And next one is from S&T Park, Pune. Mostly it is on the rural startup. Dr. Bikram will be talking, and last presentation will be from Dr. Rajinder Singh or Mr. Sasank Singh from ILRT, Hyderabad. So we have 5 panelists here. They are all from knowledge institution, and how they are making the efforts to connect technology for societal applications, and also we are talking about the enterprises, essentially on the micro enterprises, and how it is connecting with the livelihoods, security at the local level. So now I request Dr. Mahesh Gupta. His topic is on value addition and food processing technologies from Institute of Himalayan Bioresource Technology, Palampur. So this is a 10 minutes presentation, Mahesh ji, and now you can start.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Myself, Dr. Mahesh Gupta from Science-Society-Setu, Palampur. We are working here in the area of value addition and food processing, particularly for the livelihood generation and the technology developed for the grassroots levels. Next slide, please. Yeah. In IHBT, we are working in the diverse area of Himalayan resources, starting from the industrial or value-added products, crops, to aromatic, medicinal, and finally the diversified products. These are the area where we have edged to develop different technologies. These technologies are in the grassroots level, as well as which already has been disseminated to the many of that has been already disseminated to the society. Next slide, please. In the current situation, what we have seen in protein and iron, zinc, and vitamin D deficiency, so there are a lot of sources available around the Himalayan and niche of the Himalaya, which can be utilized for the development of various new technologies and products. But also at the same time, it will be helpful for the local farmers and growers, as well as the youth entrepreneurs, to come in to intervene in this resources to develop industry. So we have developed many products. I will show you in the next few things. But gluten intolerance is a new area where we have got a very good success story, and we'll show you in this area. Please, next slide. This is the background where traditional food underutilized crops such as barley, hullas barley, and buckwheat, which is available in the Western Himalayan region. We have used these resources to develop affordable process and products. This is already standardized, and the farmers and youth entrepreneurs can come into a new startup in this region. This will be helpful for economy development and upliftment in this area. Yeah, next slide. This is the one product. This is a gluten-free products we have developed. Like buckwheat is that crop which is only available in the high altitude region, and it is totally, the crop is Phagopyrum, esculentum, as well as Tataricum. Tataricum variety, which is only grown in the highest altitude area, which is rich in protein, polysaccharides, as well as phagopyritol. This is the important crop which we have developed a range of product out of that. And important part is that the processing technology is very affordable and easy adoptable process, by which we can offer to the society as well as link to the NGOs, to the local community. And another is important part in this area is that this product, or all product, has a gluten-free in nature, and the product developed and technology developed has a very good long shelf life of the products, as well as the marketability. Example, the noodles and Nutri bars, which is the coming this is the market in nowadays. But we have developed this from the local resources, which is a very good shelf life as well as nutrition. Next is the hullas barley. Next slide. This is a hullas barley, where we have developed a range of product like a roasted barley. This is the beverage, which is coffee like a taste, but is a grain coffee which is caffeine free and all other benefits. Another is the noodles as well as extruded products we have developed out of that. The technology has already been in a very good process optimized way that it can be disseminated in the local grassroots level. Next, please, slide. Yeah, this is the benefits of that. We have seen that all the product is rich in protein as well as fibers as well as few things which is means dietary fiber and protein is a rich source of all these products which is natural 100% in preservative free in nature we have developed. So this type of range of product we have developed with a complete scientific background and the benefits. Next slide. Yeah, this is the local grains and whichever is the millets and available in the high altitude region, which we have developed a bar type of products, which is a RDA value particularly for protein and fiber, and it is a long shelf life, sugar free in nature because all total bases are honey based products, and this product is also a very low cost. Very low cost investment in the nature. So we already have given this technology to 2 or 3 entrepreneurs in the local market. Next, please. And this product already in the market actually also from our side. One is good area is the beekeeping and honey production. We have also developed some beehives, which is very hygienic in nature. That this beehive is developed by our scientist team, and that is the beehives which we can install in our kitchen garden and wherever it is required. So just by the tap type of option to get the honey in a very good way, wax and pollen can also be separated easily. We have developed a range of product out of honey. This is the 6 to 7 products which is developed at our institute, and this product is very good in nature, new in type, and it can be prepared at household level, even at a panchayat or NGO level, which can be transferred to them, or they can sell in a very new idea in the market. Next, please. Another is sea buckthorn is a very important berries which is coming from the high altitude of Leh, Ladakh and Kelong, which we have used to develop a few products which is now common products, but these products already not coming in the market from the sea buckthorn source. But sea buckthorn is a very good berries and fruit in the form of fruit, which is a good health benefit properties. The range of product we have developed out of that, which can be taken up by any grassroots level organization. Please, next. Yeah, this is the one story I want to tell you regarding this buckwheat area. So we have given this technology to the one of the society, and they now are ready to install a cluster under MSME cluster scheme of Safurti. There they have they altogether 129 artisan, means the grower as well as the manufacturer as well as the marketing persons. So they make a group of 129 people, 129 artisans. So now all formalities has been completed. So get a 241 lakh rupees in Lahore area where they can install a CFC unit, Common Facility Use Center, where they process this material buckwheat into different products, and they will market into all over the maybe in the north part of the country also. So it is a very good example that can be happening in nowadays, and this is a current story, and the buckwheat products all will be coming in the market in a very less period of time. Next, please. Yeah, this is a training and demonstration program we conducted in last year and this year, by which the cluster has been developed, and cluster is now in active form in that area. And this is a demonstration training program we are also doing in the time to time to the local farmer and community, so that they can assess the technology and they can go ahead with this process and product what we have developed. Next slide. Yeah, this is some of the glimpse of the picture where we have demonstrated this products into children, even in a school children level, even in the different exhibitions, or even sometimes the farmers meet, and the people who are coming to our institute, then we demonstrate that to them to come into a community. so that the product can come into the community. Please next. Yeah, this is techno-economic viability for this buckwheat and barley products. We have get it from the this BC. We can tell that the BCR is 1.34, which is very good. Actually, return on investment is 2.48. Means it is very good in nature. So 42.48 is a return of investment. So it is a viable project, or even any society, any NGO, and any self-helping group can do this business in this area, even not in a tribal area, even also in the lower part of this Himalayan belt. So the raw material can be easily available at this belt, and it can be good profitable business for the community. So anyone, any community, any business partner who has interest in this area, so that definitely they contact us. We are definitely with them to do all help at all the levels. Next, please. Yeah, with the willing, we are also cross-bridging with STD Mandi already. HESCO, Unnati Group, and HPCM startup scheme is the most important in Himachal. That few minutes I can tell, because this CM startup scheme is launched by the state government, where they can any youth startup can come into this scheme, and he will get 25,000 per month as a startup sustenance allowance, and he will learn all this technologies, and then he can start their own business. Institute cannot take anything from that. Next slide, please. Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. So this is all. I have given the brief history of this, please.
Thank you, Maheshji.
Yeah,
thank you. Maheshji, we have some questions, and one is about you have mentioned about this buckwheat and barley. The machine cost 40 to 60 lakhs.
Yeah.
And 150 kilogram is the capacity which you have mentioned in your slide.
Sir, this is 40 to 60 lakh rupees, including the plant and machinery. Means there is a construction and all the cost of this we have included. But in
no,
actual,
that is fine. That is fine. Yeah. You have given the payback period of 2.5 years, less than 2.5 years. But the point is that when we are working or we are looking for such technologies for the rural enterprise or as a micro enterprise, and depending upon the raw material, can this be downscaled further to so that it can suit the needs of the community, maybe the SHGs, or because 40-60 lakhs only possible through the support of the government in terms of funding the projects or something like that, or big enterprise. But when we talk about the micro enterprise, is it possible for IHBT to downscale in this process based on availability of raw material for a group of farmers? We understand you have done something in the similar way for the medicinal or aromatic plant. That's I know.
Yeah. Sir, the thing is that in barley and buckwheat, there is for a raw material point of view, there is not a problem. But regarding the cost of you telling the cost of this plant and machinery, 18 lakh rupees is the machinery cost. Rest is the other utilities we have calculated at the higher end, because that as per the DPR, the complete project report will be of 40 lakh rupees. Out of that, any farmer can tell they have a land and as well as a building. So they can spend 18 lakh, because we have a laborative report of complete DPR of that with us, as well as a dossier. So the plant and only machinery cost is the 18 lakh rupees 18, which is the capacity by which he can take a three shift a day. Means this is a one shift cost. We have whatever we have calculated in a day wise. So it is feasible project for a grassroots level NGOs as well as society. Or by spending the 18 lakh rupees, they can start this complete line of production.
Okay, thank you. Any other specific questions from audience?
I can see the question from Dr. Dattaji regarding barley. They have asked the experience in the country as a value added. Yes, we have developed a lot of products from barley also, not from hulless barley, even from whole barley also. We have extracted the beta glucan from the barley, which is the good source of of that medicinal properties and then incorporate it into different products, which is good in beta glucose rich products, which has a very good properties for maybe we can tell that health and wellness. So many properties low down the body glucose level and all these things. So we already done this studies in our lab at a scientific point of view. So barley, we have done a lot of work in our institute.
Any other question, please, from our experts and from the audience who are there? Thank Dr. Gupta. And now we move to the next presentation. And this presentation is from Professor Rajat Agrawal on emerging technologies for Himalayan region. And Professor Rajat is also associated with the mountain-specific program being implemented by Department of Science and Technology through his C division. And he is also involved in Design Innovation Center, IIT Roorkee. So, sir, we would like to have your presentation and the viewpoint which we are coming across about the social enterprise and the startup ecosystem. So you can enlighten us the correct process for building the capacities at the grassroots level, and particularly the developmental agencies who are working on the ground to connect technology for societal application. And Professor Rajat Agrawal, please.
Good afternoon, all the expert members and panelists and NGOs particularly who are watching, attending this particular session. Thank you, Dr. Agrawal, for giving me this opportunity to give a glimpse of what IIT Roorkee is doing in Himalayan region. And with the help of our experience, I will also like to share that what can be the right approach for such kind of initiative. Because we are talking in S3 for Atma Nirbhar Bharat. And in that case, it is also very important that whatever we are doing, it must go to the ground. And we have experienced that if we do something in lab and then we take it to ground, many a time there are multiple challenges. So what we have done in some of our initiatives, we have made field as our lab itself. And we call it a term in our literature, that is co-creation. So we have applied the process of co-creation so effectively that now we are very much successful in this particular initiatives which we are doing for Himalayan region. So I request for the next slide, please. So I am going to talk about two initiatives in this particular presentation. One is related to forest fire. Uttarakhand, every year we all know, large amount of, because we are a forest-rich state. So forest fire is a regular phenomena every year in summers. And this time, it happened in October also. So forest fire is a very, very, you can say, critical issue for the state of Uttarakhand. And we all know, or rather, I will also emphasize that what are the probable reasons of this forest fire. Another issue is we are also known as herbal state. Dr. Mahesh was also talking about some of the herbal medicinal plants. We have also used some of the medicinal and herbal plants for improving the livelihood of the rural people. So these two initiatives I am going to discuss in this my presentation. Please, next slide. So the first work which we are doing with respect to forest fire, it is basically a project which was funded under the National Mission on Himalayan Studies. And here we have developed a very simple machine which is helping the rural people in making the products which are basically the reason of forest fire. So please, next slide. Pictures which are showing you the destructive fire in Uttarakhand and it is one of the biggest problem every year we face. The tourist season is in the summers, and most of the fire takes place in the summer, so it affects our tourist-based economy also, because Uttarakhand is largely a tourist-based economy. So we took this problem as a challenge for us, and most of you may know that Uttarakhand, Himachal, these areas are full of pine trees, and the variety which is available here, that is known as chirpine, and which is very largely available, abundance it is available in the lower region of outer Himalayas, and it is considered to be a very important source of forest fire, because it has a very good content of oil, and it is a kind of a bomb available in the forest. Please, next slide. So we have converted this destructive fire into constructive energy. So that is the whole project which we have developed, and it is very successfully available in Kumayu region of Uttarakhand. So our project sites are close to Nainital, because that is a very you can say popular tourist destination. So we are using this particular product, and now it is already commercialized. That's why it is more you can say sense to discuss this particular initiative in this platform. Please, next slide. So what is this all about? So we have done some very small, you can say, value addition in this pine needle project, very small technological intervention, and probably we followed every step which we have discussed in our earlier meetings in the seed division also. We have developed the manufacturing capability of micro small enterprises, so that whatever machine we are developing under this project, there should be a manufacturer for that machine. We have developed the capacity of local youth, so that they can take care of small maintenance related issues, so it becomes altogether independent. We need not to do any kind of hand holding of the products once we leave the site. Then we have created a system so that it becomes a self-sustaining kind of a business model also. Otherwise, as long as my team, my JRFs are involved, the project is going very well. But we have designed the things in such a way that we are slowly withdrawing our manpower, we are withdrawing ourselves, and we are seeing the things from a remote, you can say, location, so that everything is going properly. So if you see this picture here, ladies in that area, they are carrying these pine needles, and we have created these kind of stores for pine needle. Then this pine needle is crushed with a smaller size of pieces, maybe around of 1 inch. Then we have developed a very simple machine. Our idea is to democratize the technology. I am specifically saying that in Uttarakhand, close to Khatima, there were some efforts where large size plants were made for using the pine needle based briquettes, but those could not be successful because of a lot of logistics issues. You have to collect pine from different areas of the state and taking them, and it is so light that it became almost infeasible to operate those plants. So what we have done, we have democratized the technology. It is such a simple machine. You can see that no electricity is required. It can be operated manually in the house, and we are focusing on females to use this machine for their extra income. So this is the kind of product you can see which is coming out of this, and then it can be used for multiple activities. It can be used for dhabas, it can be used for self-consumption, etc. Please, next slide.
Sir, 2-3 minutes only.
Right, sir. So, as I said, that right from the beginning, we took the community with us. So we went to the field, we started understanding their timing, we started understanding their lifestyle, and based on our regular village level surveys. So that played very important role in the commercialization, in taking the technology to the rural people. And then, okay, going to the further slides, please, because this is the first project which, okay, second, please. So we went to villages, distributed all the required items to them. These are the pictures of those activities which help villagers to collect the pine in more scientific manner. Please, next slides. All these are the pictures of collection of pine, please. Go ahead, please. So these are the machines which we have developed, and as I said, these are the pictures of the manufacturing facility which we have developed. So we have developed 2 fabricators who are trained now in making the machine. So manufacturability of the machine is also very important part in making the project successful for the long run, because we at IIT developed only 2 machines in our setup, but for a bigger level involvement, we will not always be doing that. So on one side, when the society is ready to accept, at the other side, we also need to provide someone who can make those machines, because these machines we provided from the project budgets. But later on, we are now in the stage where the villagers are ready to purchase these machines. So the manufacturer to whom we have developed, now he can supply those machines on his own without taking any help from us. So that I feel is a great success. Please, we can go ahead quickly. And the interesting, please go ahead. These are the pictures of our machines. Just some of the scientific testings we also did, how much smoke is coming out, and other things, so that we are able to, because as a Professor Dr. Agrawal was saying, we are from knowledge institution. So one of the interest is publishing the papers also. So whatever we are doing, we also try to convert it into academic publications also. So these are the regular community engagements which are taking place. Please, and then finally, I want to say that please, if we can go ahead quickly, please. One more. Yeah. Now you see, these are the products which are now being sold by villagers to the all dhabas close to Nainital, Bhuwali, Shamkhet, and Almora. In that area, these products have become popular, and there is a regular supply of. So on, you see, this particular project has solved multiple problems. It has created alternative employment to the rural people. It has created the solution for forest fire, and it has also created a lot of you can say interest in the rural youth, that how can we also become more and more innovative. And our next slide will show you that, which we did not think initially, but thoda sa aage chale, please, or aage. These are the stoves developed in this project. Please go ahead further. Please go ahead. Or aage chale. We have also developed a mobile application for marketing of these products. Please go ahead. Now the second project I am not going to discuss because it is related to medicinal and urban aromatic plants, which already Dr. Gupta has covered. Now the villagers are coming with the value addition in that our pine needle products, that they are adding different kind of fragrances in that, and because of those fragrances, the value of that particular briquette, which we are selling at the rate of 10 rupees kg, 15 rupees kg, has automatically shot up to 100 rupees kg. So that type of smaller interventions, because in forest there are different type of aromatic plants are also available, their leaves are also available. So that has, because of closely working with local people, we got this advantage that their intellectual you can say setup has also started working, and now we see that whatever initial objectives with which we started are almost in the stage of completion. So that is my agenda, to say that we are able to create more Atma Vishwas, we are able to create more Atma Samman for the rural people through this project, and probably it is going to help the people and as well as the state because of the solution of forest fire. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rajat ji. Any question, please?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, please. Yes, yes, yes.
From card. So can the same briquette can be done with the Kajurina, the coconut, and also with other leaves? Am I audible, sir? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Rajat ji, आपके लिए क्वेश्चन है, Rajat ji.
Sir, I am not able to hear it properly.
हाँ, दोबारा बोलिए.
Can the similar briquette can be made out of Kajurina needles or coconut fiber or other leaves? This leaves.
Yeah, it is possible, but since in our briquette right now we are not using any kind of binder, it is only the oil which is available inside that pine needle that is used to, and therefore we require around 100 means around 1000 psi pressure so that a good binding can take place. There is no binder. In all other products related to briquettes, there is some binder. Maybe cow dung is used, maybe sawdust is used, maybe coal is used. We are not using any binder to make it as simple as possible. So, so that there is no, you can say later on issues available with this product. So the name of leaf which you are saying, ma'am, it has to be seen whether that can bind on its own or not. Because if there is sufficient kind of some oil or some kind of binding material available inside that, probably it can do. Otherwise, if you are ready to binder in that case, because this machine is giving us a pressure of 1000 psi.
रजत जी, एक आपसे क्वेरी था, क्योंकि इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे काफी एनजीओस हैं जो जुड़े हुए हैं और आपको भी सुन रहे हैं. डिजाइन इनोवेशन सेंटर जो हम रूरल एंटरप्राइज की बात कर रहे हैं, या कोई नया प्रोडक्ट्स डेवलप होता है, सर्टिफिकेशन और वैलिडेशन का भी इश्यूज आते हैं. तो हाउ डिजाइन इनोवेशन सेंटर कैन हेल्प इन सच नीड एंड द प्रोसेस इन्वॉल्व्ड?
You see, Design Innovation Center is doing multiple level of activities for the people. We have a scheme known as COMAL, which is known as COMAL, Common Man to Lab. So anyone, maybe who is associated to any NGO or not, and any NGO, any individual can approach Design Innovation Center of IIT Roorkee, which is a very unique scheme, I think, available at IIT Roorkee, and they can take the help of our facility. Our mentors will help them to do the necessary certification if it is required to get some kind of certification, and for that, whatever paperwork is required, that paperwork can also be facilitated with our facilities. So for that particular product, for taking it to the commercial level, so that it is finally used by the society. All the necessary steps, the mentorship is available at DIC. So we can provide mentorship, and we also have provision of some seed funding. So if some seed funding, very small seed funding is required for doing those things, that can also be facilitated through our DIC, Design Innovation Center. So that Komal scheme and the details of that are available on our IIT Roorkee DIC website. So they can very well apply through Komal.
Thank you, Rajat ji. Thank you very much.
Sir. Right.
Now we move to the next presentation, and this is on technology intervention and innovation for rural industries by Dr. R.K. Gupta, Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Rural Industrialization, and this institute is the National Institute under the Ministry of MSME, and we would like to have some knowledge about what MGRI has done in terms of technologies for benefiting or creating the rural enterprise and benefiting mostly the artisanal sector, which are struggling for their livelihoods in the craft sector or blacksmithy. So I think they have done some work on the technology solar-based charkha. So I request Dr. Gupta to enlighten all of us about the technologies which are emerging from the institute. Dr. Gupta, please.
Thank you, Dr. Agrawal. I'm audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first of all, I'm thankful to Professor Agrawal inviting me for this presentation. And as suggested by him, since many NGOs and other people are attending this presentation, then I will little bit talk about in Hindi also. उन्होंने कहा कि आप हिंदी भी यूज करिए. So that way I can proceed. Only 10 minutes is given to me. I would like to give maximum what this institute is doing. So as you know that this institute is under MSME. This is called popularly known as the MGI, Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Rural Industrialization. Next, please. Next. And see this, the institute is working for the rural people. And anyhow, we have to create the rural entrepreneurs, rural masses, so that they can have a empowerment on those many areas और उनको जीविका का livelihood का एक अच्छा सा साधन मिले. Just I will take a few seconds that this institute have a 6 division. एक तो खादी एंड टेक्सटाइल है, बायो प्रोसेसिंग एंड हर्बल है जिसमें हम फूड प्रोसेसिंग पे काम करते हैं. रूरल केमिकल इंडस्ट्रीज में हम बहुत सारे फ्लोर क्लीनर, फिनाइल वगैरह बनाना सिखाते हैं. फिर एक रूरल क्राफ्ट है, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट डिवीजन, जिसमें हम लोग बहुत सारे वुड क्राफ्ट पे बनाते हैं, मेटल क्राफ्ट बनाना सिखाते हैं, तरह तरह की चीजें सिखाते हैं. फिर एक रूरल एनर्जी एंड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, इसमें बेसिक हमारा जो इनोवेशन से चरखा पे है, और दूसरा इसके साथ साथ हम ऐसे इक्विपमेंट बनाते हैं कि वो थोड़े से पावर पे चल सके. एंड आपको दैट इज अनदर इंस्ट्रूमेंट मैनेजमेंट एंड सिस्टम, वो थोड़ा सा ऐसे वेबसाइट वगैरह, पोर्टल वगैरह बनाते हैं. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. तो ये जो बात हो रही थी सोलर चरखा, बिकॉज वी आर ए कंस्टिट्यूएंट यूनिट ऑफ द एमएसएमई और वेरी क्लोजली वी आर वर्किंग विद खादी एंड विलेज इंडस्ट्रीज कमीशन, और उनके एक तरह से हम टेक्निकल प्रोवाइडर हैं, टेक्नोलॉजी प्रोवाइडर हैं. तो इसमें सबसे पहले जो पूरी कंट्री में जो चरखा चलता है वो यहीं पे बनाया गया और उस पर हम लगातार इम्प्रूवमेंट करते जा रहे हैं. तो इसमें अगर कोई इस फील्ड में, ज़्यादातर तो लोग इसमें हमारे विलेज इंस्टीट्यूशन जुड़े हुए हैं, केवीआई इंस्टीट्यूट बोलते हैं उनको, और बहुत सारी लाइवलीहुड लोगों को देते हैं, चरखा पे काम करते हैं. ये जो कि गांधी जी का एक सपना था. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. फिर एक दूसरे नहीं, आप ज्यादा आगे कर गए, जरा सेकंड से इसके चरखा के बाद दिखाइए प्लीज. यही है. ओके. देन सी, इसके बाद क्या है कि हमारे जो दूसरे डिविजन्स हैं, आजकल हम थोड़ा सा वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट पे ज्यादा ध्यान दे रहे हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल आप ये मिडिल का देखेंगे, इसमें एक हमारा जो बायो प्रोसेसिंग डिवीजन है, हमने करीब 90+ टेक्नोलॉजी बनाई हुई है. उसमें करीब 50 के आसपास छोटे छोटे इक्विपमेंट हैं, बाकी प्रोडक्ट एंड प्रोसेसेस है. तो एक हमारा जो बहुत पॉपुलर प्रोडक्ट है, जिसे कोई भी बहुत सारे फार्मर्स एंटरप्रेन्योर्स बनाते हैं, दैट इज आपका जो वेस्ट ह्यूमन हेयर, उससे वो लोग एक अमीनो एसिड बनाते हैं जिसे हम लोग यूज करते हैं एज ए प्लांट ग्रोथ प्रमोटर्स। इससे एक तो फसल का प्रोडक्टिविटी बढ़ जाती है और उसका बढ़ना अच्छा हो जाता है और अच्छी आउटपुट देता है। तो ये, और दूसरी चीज है, ये एनवायरनमेंट को साफ करता है। जो बाल वाल इधर उधर फेंकते हैं वो सब कलेक्ट करके, एंड पीपल आर डूइंग दैट एंड इट्स वेरी चीप, इवन इन 5 lakhs यू कैन स्टार्ट योर बिजनेस। तो एक ये बड़ी पॉपुलर टेक्नोलॉजी है। दूसरा, एक हम जो आपका गोट मिल्क सोप है, ये भी आजकल बहुत, ये जिसमें सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप बहुत आ रहा है और वो लोग इसको बना रहे हैं। उसके अलावा हम आपका फिनाइल भी सिखाते हैं, मॉस्किटो रिपेलेंट भी सिखाते हैं, और एक हम और काम करते हैं पंचगव्य बेस्ड प्रोडक्ट्स पे। पंचगव्य मीन्स उसमें जो आपकी काऊ का या तो यूरिन का यूज हो, या काऊ डंग का यूज हो, या घी का यूज हो, या दूध का यूज हो, और इसमें से बहुत सारे आपके मंजन बनते हैं, बहुत सारे फिनाइल्स बनते हैं। तो ये लोग यहाँ करके सीखते हैं और हमारी फीस बहुत कम रहती है। मीन्स अभी जैसे फिजिकल ट्रेनिंग नहीं हो रही है, तो अभी हम सिर्फ 500 लेते हैं फॉर एनरोलिंग फॉर दी योर ऑनलाइन ट्रेनिंग, और उस ऑनलाइन ट्रेनिंग में 2 दिन में आपको सारा कुछ सिखाने की कोशिश करते हैं। एक हमारा और है जिसमें कि एक हमारा खादी एंड टेक्सटाइल डिवीजन में, उसमें हम लोग बच्चियों को, लड़कियों को या गर्ल्स को कैसे वो खादी के कपड़े बनाएं, वो फैशन डिजाइनिंग पे सिखाते हैं। तो और एक हमारा जो क्राफ्ट एंड इंजीनियरिंग है, जिसको मैं काफी एम्फेसाइज करता रहता हूँ हर समय, उसमें हम अभी पेपर बैग बनाना सिखा रहे हैं, हम अभी क्राफ्ट की चीजें, वुड की खिलौने बनाना सिखा रहे हैं, हम मेटल की चीजें बना रहे हैं। तो इस तरह से लोग आकर के यहाँ पे सीखते हैं। नेक्स्ट, ये जैसे आपका देखिए, जो मान लीजिए, मैं एग्जाम्पल इसलिए दे रहा हूँ कि अगर मान लीजिए आपको अगरबत्ती या धूप बत्ती बनानी है ना, तो ये बहुत छोटी छोटी चीजें बनाई हुई हमने कि अगरबत्ती का वो लकड़ी कैसे ठीक करेंगे, फिर उसको ड्राई कैसे करेंगे, उसका मटेरियल कैसे बनाएंगे। अब आजकल हम अगरबत्ती पे चूंकि ज्यादा जोर हो रहा है कि भाई इसको बाहर से नहीं इंपोर्ट करना है, तो हम अगरबत्ती पे ज्यादा काम कर रहे हैं, उसका मटेरियल बना रहे हैं, उसकी जो है सादृश्य को कैसे इंप्रूव करते हैं, इवन हाउ वी कैन यूज द काउ डंग ऑन दैट। तो ये सारी चीजें हम लोग इस तरह की बहुत सारी चीजें यहाँ पे छोटी छोटी करते रहते हैं। नेक्स्ट, तो जैसे मैंने कहा था कि यहाँ पे जैसे आपका खादी फैब्रिक्स है, उसमें बहुत सारे इंटरप्रेन्योर्स आते हैं, वो कैसे उसमें ब्लॉक प्रिंटिंग करना है, कैसे उस खादी को रंगना है, डाइंग करना है। एक ऐसी हमने मशीन बनाई है जो कि कपड़े को डाई करता है, और उसके आगे उसको सॉफ्ट फिनिश कैसे देना है खादी में, हार्ड फिनिश कैसे देना है, ये सारी चीजें यहाँ रेगुलर 10 या 15 दिन का कोर्स होता है। और नॉर्मली तो हमारे जो इंटरप्रेन्योर डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम चलते हैं वो 4 या 5 दिन के ही होते हैं, and they can learn, they can make their products. Next, ये जो मैं आपको बता रहा था कि हमारा जो ये पंचगव्य बेस्ड प्रोडक्ट्स है, इतने सारी चीजें बनाते हैं। देखिए, कई चीजों की ऑयल बनाते हैं, मॉस्किटो रिपेलेंट बनाते हैं, सोप साबुन बनाते हैं, और ये चीजें लोग सीख करके, बिकॉज दे आर वेरी ऑर्गेनिक इन नेचर, और लोग इस पे अपना काम छोटी सी छोटी पूंजी पे शुरू कर देते हैं। नेक्स्ट, फिर जैसे मैंने कहा, खैर इस पे तो प्रेजेंटेशंस बहुत सारे अभी मैंने सुना, 1-2 प्रेजेंटेशंस और पालमपुर का भी था। वी आल्सो डू फॉर द फूड प्रोसेसिंग। तो फूड प्रोसेसिंग में हमारा अप्रोच क्या है कि जैसे हमने एक सोयाबीन प्रोडक्ट्स के कैसे बनेंगे उसका एक प्लांट लगा रखा है, और हम एक्चुअली हम ज्यादातर कोशिश करते हैं लोगों को सिखाने के लिए कि हाउ यू कैन मेक ए सोया पनीर, हाउ यू कैन मेक ए और बहुत सारी चीजें कैसे बनाएं, बिस्किट कैसे बनाएं। ये चीजें एक्चुअली हम ज्यादा सिखाने की कोशिश करते हैं। अभी थोड़ा हमने फ्रूट पे भी काम शुरू किया है, क्योंकि जिस एरिया पे हम लोग लोकेटेड हैं, यहाँ पे ऐसे अंडर यूटिलाइज फ्रूट्स बहुत सारे हैं, जिसमें एक बेर भी है, बहुत सारे फ्रूट्स हैं। तो उन फ्रूट से वैल्यू एडेड प्रोडक्ट्स कैसे बनाएं, वो हम सिखाते हैं लोगों को कि इस तरह की चीजें आपको यहाँ पर बन सकती है। नेक्स्ट, तो ये जो मैं आपको बता रहा था कि ये हमारे बेल मेटल से कैसे, बिकॉज अच्छा मैं इस पे थोड़ा सा ये आपको बोलना चाहता हूँ कि ये जो आपके वुड क्राफ्ट है या मेटल क्राफ्ट है, देखिए ऐसा है कि इसकी क्या वैल्यू में बिकेगा, मार्केटिंग होगी, कुछ भी बेच सकते हैं, मतलब लोगों को पसंद आना चाहिए। सो आई थिंक देयर इज ए लॉट ऑफ स्कोप इज देयर। अगर कोई आदमी इसको सीख ले और मशीनें ले ले और उसमें से ये बनाने लगे तो इसमें काफी कुछ आगे जा करके वो आपके पेन स्टैंड है, आपके डेकोरेटिव पीसेस हैं। अभी हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि हम जो वो आपके जो होते हैं ये फ्लावर, वो ड्राई फ्लावर के कैसे हम क्राफ्ट मटेरियल बना सकते हैं, उसके भी कर रहे हैं। और एक हमने अभी काम शुरू किया है ये फ्लोरल ब्लेस्ट पे, जो आपके ये मंदिरों पे बहुत सारे फूल चढ़ते हैं, इधर होते हैं। सो हाउ वी कैन यूज देम फॉर मेकिंग ए यूजफुल थिंग। उसको हम अगरबत्ती के लिए एक मटेरियल बनाने की कोशिश में लगे हुए हैं। नेक्स्ट, ये जैसे मैंने आपको कह रहा था कि ये लेदर के हैं, आपके बहुत सारे वुड क्राफ्ट के बहुत सारे क्रिएटिव डिजाइन। ये अच्छा, ये कौन बनाता है? ये जो हमारे यहाँ ट्रेनिंग जाते हैं, जो वुमेन ग्रुप आता है, या और इधर उधर से बहुत सारी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट फाइनेंस करती है, ट्राइबल पीपुल आते हैं, दे मेक दीज थिंग्स। और इसके बाद अपना वो सीख के जाकर अपना कुछ ना कुछ व्यवसाय करते हैं। वी कीप ट्रैक ऑन देम। उनकी अगर टेक्नोलॉजी की कोई मदद है तो वो करते हैं, कि अगर मशीनी की जरूरत है या और कोई जरूरत है, we provide all sort of help to them. Next. हाँ, आप जैसे ये देखिए, ये जो आपने मेटल क्राफ्ट के प्रोडक्ट बनाया है, ये एक्चुअली एमपी के एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, गवर्नमेंट का डिपार्टमेंट है, जो कि हस्तकला को प्रमोट करता है। उन्होंने ये आदिवासी लोगों को भेजा था, बिल्कुल इलिटरेट पर्सन, एंड दे हैव गेट ट्रेनिंग हियर फॉर 45 days। और 45 डेज में ऐसे उन्होंने मेटल के 100 पीसेज और क्राफ्ट मटेरियल बनाए। तो ये सब चीज देख के लगता है कि अगर ऐसे लोगों को ट्रेनिंग दिला के अगर प्रमोट किया जाए तो नेचुरली दे हैव देयर ओन लाइवलीहुड। नेक्स्ट, ये जैसे आपके बहुत सारी, आपका हमारे पास पूरा एक सेट है जो सिलाई मशीनों का। तो एक हमने यहाँ पर महाराष्ट्र में, क्योंकि प्लास्टिक बैन था, तो हमने क्या किया कि उनको मल्टी लेयर बैग बनाना सिखाया। जैसे वो सब्जी वब्जी जाते हैं तो एक ही में सब डालने के बजाय यू कैन हैव ए सेपरेट प्लेस फॉर ईच एंड एवरी आइटम। और इस तरह से पेपर बैग बनाना सिखाया। तो ये सारी चीजें, ये उन पत्तल बनाना सिखाया। तो ये सारी चीजें यहाँ के ट्राइबल लोगों को काफी मोटिवेट करती हैं और वो जाकर के अपना काम शुरू करते हैं। अब जैसे भी कि कोई बता रहे थे एक प्रेजेंटेशन में कि स्फूर्ति है, एस्पायर है, ये हमारी MSME की बहुत सारी स्कीम्स हैं। उसके अंदर ये सारी, या LBI एक बोलते हैं, लाइवलीहुड प्रमोशन स्कीम है MSME की, उसमें इन चीजों को रख करके और एक बहुत अच्छा सा कमर्शियल लेवल पे लाइवलीहुड क्रिएशन किया जा सकता है। नेक्स्ट, जैसे मैंने आपको पहले बताया कि हमारे पास 2-4 पोर्टल हैं। एक हमारा पोर्टल है ग्रीन खादी डिजाइन्स। इसमें क्या है कि हम लोग ऐसे मतलब सॉफ्टवेयर की मदद से बहुत सारे खादी वस्त्रों के डिजाइन बनाते हैं। वो किसी में हो सकते हैं, टेक्सटाइल में भी काम कर सकता है। तो इसमें करीब 500-600 के आसपास ऐसे हमारे डिजाइन्स रहते हैं। तो इसमें कोई भी व्यक्ति असेस करके वो डिजाइन को लोड कर सकता है, और अगर अपना उसने इनोवेटिवनेस कुछ किया है तो उसमें डाल भी सकता है, सो दैट अदर पीपल कैन यूज दैट। तो इसको भी बहुत सारे लोग, और इस पे इसकी हेल्प लेकर के बहुत हमारी जो सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप है, समटाइम्स दे हैव ओपन ए बिग शॉप आल्सो, फैक्ट्री भी डाल देते हैं आपके स्कूल यूनिफॉर्म बनाने के लिए। मतलब बहुत अच्छी ये दैट पोर्टल इज देयर, इसका काफी लोगों ने उपयोग किया है। नेक्स्ट, ये हमारी 2 और पोर्टल चलाते हैं हम लोग। एक तो है उद्यमी सहायक। इसमें क्या है कि आप कोई भी ऐसी चीज डालें, जैसे मान लीजिए आपने कहा कि हमको ऑयल एक्सपेलिंग लगाना है, ऑयल एक्सपेलर लगाना है, तो इसमें आपको मशीनों के विषय में भी जानकारी है कि कौन सी मशीन कहाँ मिलेगी और इसमें कितने का मिलेगा। इवन समटाइम्स भी यू कैन हैव, आप उनका मोबाइल नंबर भी मिल सकता है जो मैन्युफैक्चरर से, और अपना उनसे बात करके जैसा भी है आप उनसे मशीनें खरीद सकते हैं। अगर हम लोगों की आवश्यकता है देन वी कैन आल्सो इंटरेक्ट, बट नॉर्मली उसमें से सारी इंफॉर्मेशन रहती है और अपना वो उनसे कांटेक्ट करके अपने लिए मशीनें प्राप्त कर सकते हैं। और दूसरा, वो कोई अगर क्राफ्ट को प्रोसेस करना चाहते हैं या कोई मेटल क्राफ्ट बनाना चाहते हैं, उसमें क्या प्रोसीजर है, सो ये काफी एक हेल्पफुल पोर्टल है जिसका यूज किया जा सकता है। एक रूरल हाट है हमारा। रूरल हाट में क्या होता है कि बहुत से, बिकॉज आई नो यू नो दैट दिस मार्केटिंग इज ए वेरी डिफिकल्ट प्रॉब्लम समटाइम्स, कि प्रोडक्ट तो बन जाता है, उनको कौन लेगा, कैसे लेगा। तो उसको सॉल्व करने के लिए हमने ये एक पोर्टल बनाया हुआ है। आप उसमें अपना प्रोडक्ट का इंफॉर्मेशन डालिए, दिस इज फॉर जस्ट एडवर्टाइजमेंट, और उससे आपको बहुत सारे कुछ खरीदने वाले लोग मिल सकते हैं। नेक्स्ट। तो अब ये जो बाद में आता है कि हाउ वी कैन कोलैबोरेट विद अदर पीपल्स। तो देखिए ऐसा है, पहले तो हमारा है कि हम सब जो भी लोग हमें कांटेक्ट करते हैं हमारी वेबसाइट पे, हम एप्लीकेशन भेजते हैं कि साहब हम ये सीखना चाहते हैं, इस पे ट्रेनिंग लेना चाहते हैं, तो इंटरप्रेन्योर को तो हम लोग हेल्प करते ही है। दूसरा जो आपका स्फूर्ति वगैरह है, जो एमएसएमई की स्कीम्स है, उसमें एज ए टेक्निकल एजेंसी भी हमें काम करना पड़ता है। और तीसरी चीज ऐसा है कि हम जो है नेटवर्किंग करते हैं R&D इंस्टीट्यूशन से। अगर खादी एंड विलेज इंडस्ट्रीज बहुत बड़ी इंडस्ट्री है जिसका पोटेंशियल बहुत ज्यादा हो सकता है, फिर आज के दिन में जब माइग्रेंट लेबर हैं, बहुत सारी चीजें, तो उसमें अगर कोई टेक्नोलॉजी हम नहीं कर पा रहे हैं या उसको बहुत जल्दी करना है, इवन वी गो टू IITs आल्सो। अभी कुछ सेंटर ऑफ एक्सीलेंस हम 2-3 IITs में भी खोल रहे हैं, ताकि अगर जैसे किसी ने जिक्र किया था नॉन फॉरेस्ट प्रोड्यूस का, नॉन टिम्बर फॉरेस्ट प्रोड्यूस, अगर इसका प्रोसेसिंग एंड वैल्यूडेशन के लिए हमने एक NIT राउरकेला को सिलेक्ट किया है, तो ये मतलब इस तरह की चीजें भी हम लोग करते हैं कि हाउ वी डू द नेटवर्किंग ऑफ द रिप्यूटेड इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ द कंट्री, ताकि वो टेक्नोलॉजी जल्दी से जल्दी बन जाए और लोगों तक पहुंच जाए। तो इसमें से मेरा ये कहना है कि कोई भी अगर, चाहे आपका ये DST आपका है, साइंस टेक्नोलॉजी डिवीजन है, अगर कोई भी चाहे व्हाट एवर टेक्नोलॉजी भी है, वी आर रेडी टू शेयर टू द इंडिविजुअल्स, और किसी भी रूप में आप हमसे कोलैबोरेट करके उन टेक्नोलॉजी को आप इंडिविजुअल्स तक ले जा सकते हैं। Next, please. I think this is the last slide. So thank you very much for giving me time, hearing me. और अगर आपके कोई questions हैं, then आप मुझसे पूछ सकते हैं.
Thank you very much, sir. And it is really a pleasure to see the efforts being made by MGRI about the revival of these artisanal livelihoods in the craft, particularly in the craft sector, and about the other machines being designed on solar charkha. We hope you will be coming again with new version of such technology products. And now it is open for questions, if any, to Dr. Gupta, please. Thank you very much, sir. So we move to the next.
Thank you.
Next presentation. Now this is from Mr. Bikram Saraf, Science and Technology Park, Pune. He will be talking about the emerging technologies for rural applications, and S&T Park, supported by DST, is in Pune, and he will be sharing the work being carried out at his institute. So now I invite Mr. Bikram Saraf, please. Bikram ji.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Agarwal, for the introduction and the opportunity to participate on this forum. I think it's a great initiative. मैं कोशिश करूंगा थोड़ा हिंदी भी इंक्लूड करने, थोड़ा इंग्लिश बीच बीच में फिर भी आ ही जाएगा. Science and Technology Park is one of the first science and technology entrepreneurs park set up by DST in 1986. So we are a very old organization, and our focus has been to convert the research and knowledge that is developed across the country into viable and commercially successful enterprise. So the enterprise can be grassroots level to scaled up large scale technology level as well. We have been sector agnostic throughout our journey, which means we have focused on not just one but a multitude of sectors that are most important during that particular period of time, that are valid or more required from a social and environmental impact point of view. So we have had experience across a large amount of sectors, scales, and geographies, both rural and urban technologies. And we have been working with a lot of other institutions because we are not attached to any particular parent research institution, although we are located on University of Pune campus. So before I go into the presentation, I want to highlight this one thing, that I am going to focus on energy, because I think before we do anything at the rural or regional level, we have to talk about our energy resilience, which is lacking today. Now, I come from a architecture and design planning background, which probably is very rare to find in this sector. And that is why my approach is towards planning or bottom-up approach from the field up to the policy level and then implementing it down, so that the best impact is achieved. More often, what we have seen from our experience is that our technologies, they're very good, they're very effective, but unfortunately हम उसको product या service में convert नहीं कर पाते. And technologies cannot be deployed on the ground unless they are products or services. So it is very essential for us to understand that हर चीज का एक product या service बनाना ये जरूरी है, and only then can we talk about the commercial success and the positive impact that we are looking at. The other thing that I want to talk about, stress upon here, is our ways of funding rural applications. Now, we have a lot of government schemes. We also have experience across so many leading institutions that we have across our country. We have international and global experiences as well. So I think one size fits all does not work. Every village has to be looked at a single or a independent business unit under which various activities are happening. And if we look at it from that point of view, then we have different funding opportunities or different ways of funding technologies and absorbing them that we can identify. Now, apart from that, one critical aspect that I want to highlight here is from our experiences that it is now very critical and essential to focus on sustainable development. India has already signed up for its 2030 SDG goals. So it would be great for us to now plan and implement at the grassroots level to support this, the promise that we have made. And by doing that, we are also creating an impact and capability of resilience and economic resilience and disaster preparedness. So these are the basic principles I think that we have to talk about for commercially viable businesses. Now, there are various positive sides to doing all this, although they appear to be beyond the common man's reach. Unfortunately, that is a misunderstanding. Now, coming back to the main topic, which is energy resilience, it goes back to understanding how we can change the energy market or the energy fabric in the country, because we have a very large rural population. We have a very energy deficient population, and a lot of socio-economic activity is stalled because of lack of energy or lack of good quality energy. So I think anything that we do, we need good quality energy to back it up. Now, the other aspect that I want to highlight here is the idea of circular economy and the idea of converting waste into wealth. So if you assume that let's not consider waste as waste, but waste is a resource for creating wealth, then you will be able to understand this better. So we have developed and deployed a whole gamut of technologies across waste to wealth and circular economy and energy, and I will talk about that in a short while. So can we go to the next slide? So if you look at it, I've already stressed upon the fact that energy is the backbone for socioeconomic development, and I think everybody will agree to that. Everything that we do requires a lot of energy. It can be electricity, it can be heat, it could be a lot of other processes. lighting, ventilation. These are the things that we do that require energy. Commonly found energy sources today are coal, wood, petroleum-based fuels, and a little bit of solar that we've seen coming up in recent years. Now, we have a huge number of rural settlements, a huge populace, which is almost so deficient with energy. We have, although we say that 82% of villages are electrified, that electricity is very unreliable and it's very expensive for them to utilize that. One of the shocking statistics is that 65% of rural enterprises are not connected. Only 65% are connected to the grid. So what happens to the others is what we need to understand, and whether the 65% of these grid connected enterprises are getting good quality energy. So this is causing very clear negative impacts. One is the pollution and the health hazard that comes from burning and all these other things that are happening. The other main issue is the low industrial output. Now we are not able to have socio-economic development because we don't have enough energy to realize the total potential of our population. So what we do believe very strongly is that energy must then be the starting point for creating an Atma Nirbhar Bharat. Can we have the next slide, please? So moving to the next slide, we have looked at various different demand situations where an average rural, here we are talking only about electricity, plus you can add a little bit for cooking and other industrial activities and all that. But these statistics that I've put in front of you clearly showcase a wide gap or the market size for small enterprises to fulfill by just providing good quality, reliable, perpetual energy. Now, if you see that the rural industrial demand out of the whole industry, out of the whole rural energy demand is only 7%, and that gives us a good idea about how low technology or how less in number the rural industrial output is, which is we are hoping is likely to go up.
You have 5
many
minutes. You have 5 minutes. Please come on the technologies.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So all of this can be met by clean and renewable sources. We go to the next slide. So we are talking about energy sources that are clearly available. Some of the renewable sources we have already seen. We are also talking about waste. So agricultural waste, waste from crop, harvesting, waste from food processing, household waste, sewage, industrial packaging, thermocol, plastics. These are all sources of good quality energy that today we are just throwing away.
अच्छा, मैंने अभी modify जो आपने.
Can we go to the next slide? So we'll talk about these technologies which we have already developed and deployed. One particularly is the high temperature gasifier. It kind of liberates the thermal energy from any kind of waste. We generate a huge amount of waste. Our villages are also subject to a lot of landfill from the cities. These are to us, these are all gold mines. We can convert all of that into good quality, reliable, cheap, non-polluting electricity with zero emissions, and have a steady supply back to the grid or to the local industry sectors. Now we're talking about everything from landfill waste to urban waste to municipal waste. We also have a biofuels refinery. We have now commercially viable scale of 150,000 liters per month. These are very easy to operate and establish, and they basically take agricultural and food processing waste like paddy straw, rice husk, and a lot of other post-harvest waste, which can be converted into diesel. So diesel, not biodiesel, but actual diesel. And again, this is a non-polluting technology and very affordable as well. Can you next slide, please? We do have a biodigester, which is a plug flow reactor, which means we don't do a batch processing, but we keep on putting the waste into it. And we have conventional biogas, CNG, and CO2 coming out of it. And the liquid manure is actually it fetches a good price. The solar PV is what we already have, and I will not talk about it much. Next slide, please. We have also developed and deployed these two technologies. One is the micro hydro power station, which can even work at a very small speed of 2.5 meters per second and can be installed on any of the streams, small rivers, rivulets, canals, irrigation canals, and it's perpetual form of energy. Again, very low maintenance, very low tech, but very effective in giving us perpetual energy. The same principle behind the solar wind hybrid, which is very high efficiency solar and wind combination. So wind is good for shaving the peak demand of energy, and these technologies can then be provided to the surrounding urban or industrial regions, whereby we are utilizing our rural natural capital to produce free, cheap, clean energy that can be sold to our neighbors who really want that energy, or to the industrial units that we will be setting up in our rural sectors. So next. So what are the opportunities that we have from all this? One, and the most important, is that we have opportunity to set up off-grid power stations, power generation, distribution opportunities are there. Piped natural gas and biogas throughout villages and in the vicinities. The sale of the liquid fuels that we are creating, the biodiesel or the diesel from agricultural waste. We can have centralized waste plants, sewage plants. The thermal energy created from the gasifier can be used for boilers and for industrial purposes. Also, the plastic and the thermocol from packaging, industrial packaging, can be effectively converted into actual diesel, BS6 standard diesel, which is used in industrial boilers today, industrial turbines. We can trade excess energy and make money out of it. The other thing that we can do, and which will be very, very effective in the future to make money, is to trade the carbon and GHG emissions set off, which not many rural applications talk about. So it would be interesting to see how we can deploy this, and these are all very scalable and modular technologies. Can we go to the next slide? Next, can we go to the next slide? Yeah. So how do we engage with these technologies? Is one, we start with village level assessment planning. It may affect land use planning and how we talk about resource utilization and the future industrial growth, or the adoption of other rural technologies that will require that energy and so on, and how much energy we can sell outside the village. There is possibility of acquiring technologies from other R&D institutions as well, because we work closely with DST in curating such technologies from other institutions across the country. We also ourselves support the development of such technologies. We have early stage seed capital, project funding, and prototype funding that we do through several government funded schemes, and even DST funded programs we have. And then we have access to a lot of funding, private funding or CSR funding or industrial funding, and then the markets for such products and the entire pre and post supply chain support. So this is how we engage with startups, by actually creating viable projects, end to end. So I think this is the last slide. So I will end there. Thank you. I see there is one question from Vigyan
Thank you,
Achal.
Vikramji.
Can I take that question?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So, yes, the technology for gasifier has been implemented in Pune. It is implemented in Pirangud village also. The Gram Panchayat is now benefiting from utilizing landfill waste and the plastic waste. The local Pirangud industry belt is purchasing the diesel that is being generated from the from the waste processing plant. We have also deployed the gasifier for providing hot water for free to hostels and kitchens. So even that is possible. We can do that. And we also have the agriculture waste to diesel plant running in Chakan area and Raigad district, where we are producing 150,000 liters a month just from rice field paddy waste, and we are having full capacity sold out to industries. In fact, from our calculations, am I audible, Sunil ji?
Yes. Boliye aa raha hai.
In fact, from what I believe, we produce enough agricultural waste every year to replace 80 to 90% of all imported petroleum products.
मैडम को बोलना लास्ट प्रेजेंटेशन के बाद कंक्लूडिंग करना है इनको वापस. Yeah, any other question, please? Thanks, Vikramji. Now we have the last presentation of today's session, that is role of micro agriculture technology for livelihood promotion of small and marginal farmers. And this is from Dr. Rajendra Singh and Dr. Sasank Singh from Institute of Livelihood Research and Training, Hyderabad.
Thank you, Dr. Agarwal. I am Shashank Singh from Institute of Livelihood Research and Training, ILRT, which is being promoted by Basic Social Enterprise Group. We are praxis organization. That means we do knowledge building with field practice, and at the same time we develop the curriculums and disseminate the same knowledge into the field. Next slide, please. So in this presentation, I will be sharing some of the examples of ILRT's experience, and along with that, we have our partners in the field. Madhya Pradesh Vigyan Sabha examples I will be taking. Along with that, our sister organization, Basic Krishi Samriddhi Limited example. And lastly, the example from Meghalaya Science Council. We are working on a very innovative research project. That 4 examples I will be taking for the today's presentation. Next slide, please. So going with the background in the history a little bit, and agriculture started around 12,000 years ago in India, in the Indus Valley. So it is the oldest activity and very important for the survival. But at the same time, when we talk about the modern agricultural things, it happened only last 200 years only, with the use of increase in the farm power and machinery, and the credit again goes to the British agricultural revolution. Next slide, please. So why it is important? Because the traditionally it is happening for so many years, but with the use of the modern tools, the efficiency goes very high. For example, the use of moldboard plow or the disc plow, increases the efficiency by 200 to 300%. And when we talk in India about the farm mechanization, irony is that it is actually a factorization, I would say. And in 1961, the first indigenous company Aisha started at Faridabad. It started there with the tractor manufacturing, and now we are the largest producer of tractor and consumer as well for the tractor. And but that basically caters to the big farmers, but 86% of the small and marginal farmers still are not able to use that technology directly. Next slide, please. So like I mentioned, the most of the farm mechanization that has happened, that is more centered towards the big farmers. And when we say small farmers, the criteria has been set according to the land holding size. So the land, if they are owning is less than 2 hectares, they are categorized as small or marginal farmers. But 2 hectares in Uttar Pradesh or in Meghalaya or in Karnataka and Deccan, it's not all the same. The quality of the land is important. And within the farming community, if we see the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribe, they are again the most deprived, not only with the farm technology, but with any other of the resources. They are the most vulnerable class. So in my presentation examples, I will be talking more on them. Next slide, please. This slide represents the different activity we do when we are doing some cropping. So it starts with the tillage and goes with the different operations. Why this I have shown this? Because earlier we used to have a proper window for operating for these activities, but due to the climate change, actually, and now with the climate extreme events, the temperature and the moisture which should be available for that is providing a very narrow window to perform these activities, and the farmer has to take very quick decision to perform these operations. Otherwise, they would lose the potential crop yield. So technology can play a very important role, and at all these steps, we need small implements that can reduce drudgery, at the same time improve the efficiency of their work. Next slide, please. So the situation I was talking about, this is a picture of a typical farmer. So out of 100 farmers, 86 of the farmers would come into this class. And for generations, they are using these tools only. They cannot afford tractor on rent also. So this is the ground situation, and with this I will be talking about the action research. Next slide, please, which we took in Bandhavgarh, which is in the Umaria district of Madhya Pradesh. Bandhavgarh is famous for its tiger reserve. And next slide, please. We choose 2 villages there, Bhadari and Damna, and we try to promote some of the small technologies there to see what can be the adoption or the disadoption reasons there, and it would be working with the tribals there to see the result. And next slide, please. The location is so remote, so even in reaching to those villages, you see, you have to sometimes cross these little streams and to reach. So the place I'm talking about is so remote, and the people I'm talking about, they are so cut off from the mainstream that even promoting their a very small technology is a big challenge. Next slide, please. The land holding size is less than 2 acres, you see. Most of the farmers there, they are having very small land holding, and often these lands are not a single piece of land. They are again a very fragmented land, and they are doing cultivation, maybe not in the entire 2 acres as well. Next slide, please. So with these conditions, we try to start with the smallest farm equipment we can go ahead with. and there is mainly the Baiga and the Gond community there, the tribals, and traditionally they are using the sickle, which is on the right side, and we try to promote the high carbon steel sickle, which the name is Naveen sickle, designed by CIA Bhopal, which is marginally high in cost, so it is not a very much matter. But even trying to promote that in the area was a difficult and challenge for us. Next slide, please. Ergonomically, if we see, it is a very good sickle. It has been designed, and you don't need to sharpen it very oftenly. It is a kind of a self-sharpening tool, a very efficient tool. But again, what we found that when we talked to the farmers, they said that okay, it is good, but we realized that they are not using it, because with the substitution of the sickle, we are giving them only the sickle. So what next technology version 2 or upgradation we are providing, and that was the thing. So we discussed the same thing with Dr. Spissing at IRI, who was there at CIA for 14 years, and he worked on the Naveen sickle. And then he told that, next slide, please. Next, please. Next slide. Then he told that a sickle for sickle is not a solution, and if we have to give them some tool in place of to replace the sickle, we have to provide some technological improvisation. So at IRI, they have developed a weeder which is being operated by 350-watt motor. It is easy and to operate. It can be used for seeding as well. So such a kind of thing needs to be given to those farmers. But otherwise, he tried to promote it for many years, the same sickle, and he faced the same challenge that on the camera, maybe when you're taking the interview, they would be saying, okay, we are using it, but in reality, they were actually not. Next slide, please. A similar example, our sister organization, Basics Krishi Samriddhi Limited. So the farmers, they are working there with the farmer producer companies and producer groups. In West Bengal, the farmers, they are involved in jute plantation, and then they try to intervene with the jute planter, which is more a kind of that it can sow the seed in a row wise. So seed rate decreased, and then the productivity increased by 15%. So itself, you have more production by 15%. And the good thing was that they started with a small group of producer company, but later on the farmers, they themselves they adopted it, and the farmer producer company, they are now promoting it. So about 500 farmers, they are using it, and so it is sustaining. This is a good example. That's why I took here. So jute planter by BKSL. Next slide, please. Very good example, good work done by Madhya Pradesh Vigyan Sabha, our partners in Madhya Pradesh. Bale, we know that it is in the north part of the Madhya Pradesh. It's available in forests, and the tribal Saharia community, PVDT community, they use it. They use it in traditional manner, but that is very unhygienic. So Madhya Pradesh Vigyan Sabha, they with the support of DST, they took the action research to train these Saharia community. So next slide, please. Next slide, please. You can see these Saharia, these are the tribal people in the white coat. They were being given the training for sustainable harvesting, for processing, and they developed the products using the bale. And also the most important part was to do all the activity in a very hygienic manner. So they started with around 50 families there. It was around 2010 they started, and till 2014 they supported the project. But if you go to Shivpuri, still this is going on, and they are still producing these bale products there. Next slide, please. These are some of the pictures of their working. They make the bale syrup bottles, which costs around rupees 75, and they produce like 500 to 600 bottles per day is the capacity. And in summer it is a high in demand. Next slide, please. These are the again some of the pictures of the bale RTS. Next slide, please. Similar to the bale, they did the work on Mahua in Tamia block of Chhindwara district in Madhya Pradesh. They trained the tribals for sustainable harvesting, and at the same time they created some new products out of Mahua. Next slide, please. So these are not the routine products actually. These are now the gluten-free and more in the nutritional value. So the base is the mahua. They blended it with other kodu putki material, and it's a new product which has been created using the mahua flowers. And these are all being done by the tribal people which have been trained there. Next slide. Some of the bakery products from the mahua, they have been developed. So people, they are now coming, they have showed interest. These now the SRLM has taken up these projects both at the Shivpuri and the Tamia to promote the marketing of these products. So marketing work is now being taken, and which has been supported by NABARD. Next slide, please. Some other pictures of the bakery products, biscuits, muffins. So new kind of products which have been developed from the mahua. Next slide, please. This is a very innovative project on dew fog technology. I was a research engineer at IIM Ahmedabad in 2005. We developed some of the designs for capturing the dew in the coastal area of Kutch. We did some experiments. So left side shows the test condensers, and the bottom shows the condensers on the school roof. The middle one shows we did the condensers on the ground in near to Porbandar at a school which doesn't have any source of water. The bottom picture shows that about 300 liter of water was available per day. Children, they can at this school they can use it. The right side upper picture shows in a Kutch at a coal mine we developed world's biggest dew harvesting system, about 800 square meter. And the bottom right side picture is the dew bottling plant which was being developed around year 2013 with the support of DST. Next slide, please. So with that, recently we are doing this experiment on dew fog with the Meghalaya Science Council and Technology. We developed this design for test condensers for dew and fog as a hybrid. We have installed at 3 places in Meghalaya, and the results we are getting, it shows 800 ml of water we received in single night, which is something what's highest, I will say, dew water we have received. So the experiment is still going on, and we see the potential that we can harness this water in the off season, which can be boon for the farmers there to do some of the growing some of the crops in the off season. Next slide, please. So the plan is to connect this dew fog water through bamboo drip system, which is traditionally known in Meghalaya. People are using it, and connecting this bamboo drip system with the local bamboo greenhouses, so that they can use this water to cultivate some of the crops in off season, and that can fetch them with some source for their livelihood. Next slide, please. Next, please. I'll pick some of the findings, important ones. So our learning is that some local customization is required according to the agroclimatic zone. So once we have a design, but often it doesn't work at the field level. So customization is all the time required. Even we found that promoting a very low cost implement, so cost is not a matter. Then we have to see what kind of technology we are providing, whether it is the same or they need a version 2.0 which reduces their drudgery. More focus has to be given for the small and marginal farmers, because what we found that most of the work is more driven towards the cater the needs of the big farmers, but in the process these marginal farmers again have been kept aloof. Next slide, please. And continuous improvement has to be done. So we did that dew harvesting project in 2005, but with the designs, condensers on the ground and putting on the rooftops, we kept on improving upon that. So that has to be developed all the time and never to be stopped. And that is one thing. And then for the small farmers, what we found that there can be, like if you go to CIA, there are more than hundreds of the implements in the museum, but if in the field you see hardly there are 8 to 10 implements which are important. So there should be a package of 8 to 10 implements, very low cost implements are there. These are not tractor driven, and then it has to be linked with the good agriculture practices to provide a optimum solution to them for optimum productivity. A long-term association with the community, and that has to go, and continuous training, because dissemination is again a big challenge. Next slide, please. I think that this is my last slide. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Sasankji. There is a question from the chat box, Sasankji. This is from Dr. D. Datta, head the C division, and he would like to know how the self-life of Mahua products is being ensured, because you have told number of Mahua-based products have been made.
Yes.
Is there any study or from any lab reports, something you have been involved in this to ensure the self-life of the products which are being marketed? Yes.
Of course, we have a complete report for the nutritional value and for the shelf life, like for any other food product. So we have a complete report for that, and we can of course share it with you. And the work has been done by MP Vigyan Sabha, which are our partners in Madhya Pradesh. So definitely I can share it with you.
Yes, we would like to know, because Madhya Pradesh Vigyan Sabha is a core support organization. So they have been working on minor forest produce. So what is the shelf life? Because each product has its own shelf life. So that has to be reflected. Yes. Any other question, query from Dr. Sasank, please? So thank you very much, Dr. Sasank, for sharing your experiences in executing the interventions at the grassroots level in the Meghalaya, involving the State S&T Council as well as in Madhya Pradesh with Madhya Pradesh Vigyan Sabha. So now we close this session, and now it is open for discussion. And now I request Dr. Ketki Bapat from Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor, and Dr. D. Datta, if he is available for concluding sessions. So Dr. Ketki Bapat, please.
Yeah. So still Dr. Vishesh will be also there from WWF.
Ketki ji, I'm here only.
Yeah, so I think first, I think thank you, Dr. Sunil, for conducting this session very timely. Now, myself and Dr. Vishesh will be actually summing up and taking up the questions. So, first, I would request that any questions are there, Maybe Dr. Visesh, will you be first taking the questions from the audiences, and then I will just give the concluding remarks.
Okay, thank you, Ketki. So I was just thinking that there were basically some few questions for Dr. Rajat Agarwal ji. So I think the forest fires have created a lot of interest. So basically, there are Mr. Gauthami as well as Janmajay from WWF. In fact, it's of great interest to us also. Has actually asked that how does this product help in abating forest fires, and if they could kind of get back and explore technologies and try it on the field and get back to you about it. So in case you have any like a one line or a short answer, maybe you would like to do that, please give that, please, Mr. Agarwal. Rajatji? Is he there?
I think he's not there.
He's left. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll then make sure that the questions reach him, and anyways, email IDs and phone numbers have been shared. So I'm asking the participants also to contact him directly. I think that would be
and
good.
we will get the input from Dr. Rajat, and we will put on the portal.
Yeah, and so Vikram ji, there were two questions for you. One is technology for gasifier from solid waste management already deployed? I think Vigyan Ashram wanted to know that. And second was, can we get the details of technology for agro residue to biodiesel? So these were very specific. You would maybe like to address these questions, please.
The Vigyan Ashram question I've already answered that time.
Okay.
So we have already deployed this technology. We have worked with Gram Panchayat. They have received a lot of benefit. They are already selling the diesel to industrial units in the surrounding areas, which has been a great validation of that product, and they have realized the financial impact of using the waste. So it's been a great successful pilot for us. For biodiesel, yes, we also have a 150,000 liter per month capability, which was our first commercial plant. Again, the primary consumers have been the industrial establishments around Pune. So yes, the technology is available. If any interested person wants to know more, they can directly get in touch with me, because we will have to see, there are various aspects of what waste is available, the composition of that waste, the logistics behind that, whether it's financially feasible to actually transport the waste. So there are bits and pieces there. Technology can be deployed, joint venture or investor driven. There are various models that we can also explore. So yeah, we are open to consider different models also. So
okay, I think the last question was to the Root Act, but I think it's applicable for everyone. That it basically, Dr. Nair is saying that it would be nice if even business plans are offered along with the technology and machines, and the services and offers. So if that is very clearly put out, because often people struggle even if you get the technology, if you don't have that whole plan. There is a struggle on the ground for the grassroots groups. So I think that's a very good suggestion come question, that along with implements and machines and, the technology, it would be also good to offer this and also facilitate access and the, for the forward and the end users. So I think that's also something which Dr. Nair has suggested. I don't know if anyone from RUTAG is there. I know Dr. Kakuti has left. I don't know if Dr. Deshpande is still there. If you would like to say something, otherwise, yeah, you are.
Yeah,
okay.
Dr. Deshpande is there. Yeah.
I agree with the suggestion, and in fact, so we do make endeavor to try to evolve, sort of entrepreneur and financial package so that the technology use can be furthered much more than just a prototype or initial dissemination stage, but actually entrepreneurship can take place. And this is also help these days, of course, because overall emphasis in Indian context about, being your own employer and entrepreneurship and startup and all of that. So actually that way it's positive development.
Thanks. Thanks, Dr. Deshpande. I think there was just another one generic question is that क्या MGIRI online training देती है? I think Dr. Gupta आपने शायद वो बोला ही था, but अगर आप दोबारा स्पष्ट करना चाहते हो तो वो बता सकते हो. नहीं.
I think he's
not. He's also left probably. ठीक है, Ketki ji, over to you. I don't see any more questions, and we are also nearing the time. हाँ जी.
Yeah. So actually, thank you everyone thank you for Vishesh ji or Dr. Sunil ji for conducting it well. So today it was last web clinic for this MSME and economy sector. And so today we have got not many presentations. Two were from RUTAG centers. One is from IIT Madras and IIT Guwahati. Let me tell you, like other seed supported technologies, even RUTAG technologies also are well field tested technologies. They have also tested at different geographical locations. So essential tweaking or essential modification also were done. And I am very glad that both these centers now actually social momentum is also picking up to adopt these technologies, and sort of facilitation is also happening through web portals and our better connectivity. And also a lot of proactive teams are also coming up with different initiatives. So that is all facilitation is happening. Unlike 10 or 15, 20 years back when this initiative started. So also I am looking forward for the proactiveness for the receptive end also. As Dr. Datta also said that even our earlier even in our meeting also it was seen that the absorption capacity, the technology hunger absorption capacity, unless we increase to the ground level, we are all taking the demand from the ground level and developing it according to the understanding and according to the problem statement. But now, when it comes to the receipt of the technologies, some of the technologies are they do have product potential, but some of the things they are just for that problem solving at that particular area. So not all the frugal technologies or all the frugal rural technologies are having the product orientation. And plus, as it was also asked by someone, that whether you can have the complete package. So my thought process says that it is ideal to have the package, but at the same time, it's not more, I would say, more than 50% it is depending on the other side, the facilitation, whatever the local manufacturing capacity or the technological reach or the product potential to absorb. So lot many things are there, but from our end, from the educational institutions or from other things, we can only say the technological upgradation support or any technical support or for quality assurance. For example, when we are seeing these value-added products from any natural produce, say from flowers ho ya kuch leaves ho, any now nutraceuticals ho, you can see कि like सहजन के जो पत्ते होते हैं बहुत सारा उसमें hemoglobin होता है, तो suddenly you will have this moringa powder, nanoparticles add करके उसको that kind of a nutraceutical development also can happen. But my viewpoint is we also have your SOPs and GMP should be developed side by side and it should be certified. See, many of the times we have also seen as a team that at the interiors or at the rural areas, these people are also quite enthused and quite interested in taking new challenges, new technologies, or the risk, to adopt this technology. But at the same time, the technology providers also should have the legal norms or legal SOPs or whatever the required kind of things developed simultaneously. Otherwise, whatever value added products are there will be only sustainable for the local consumption, but not for the other transportation or other marketplaces options. So I feel that also needs to be developed. Similarly, we also had a panel discussion. We had a lot of good value-added and food processing technologies by IHBT Palampur. They have actually a very beautiful center is there where we have some Steiner technological intervention suggestions, donor team and other people. So beautiful technologies ISBT has developed, and they are very open and very ready. That is what we have experienced. So my request to all these interested people to really, they are very, very good technologies. We can adopt it. They have just today they have presented some, but they have got some also the bouquet of technology. We can contact them, one can contact them also. And very beautifully presented emerging technologies, especially for Himalayan region, pertaining to your forest fire, medicinal and herbal plant with based on technological whenever we are talking about this medicinal plant, I have my own worries. Being a Ayurveda project coordinator also and national biodiversity mission coordinator also. And whenever we are looking at the natural resources like plant produce and we are just ripping off the things. So I think we also need to or we need to also grow this particular medicinal plant or other those disease also. So while we are doing the value-added products, simultaneously these things also they need to be taken care. And for that matter, I think Ministry of Ayush, have you 45? Yeah. So Ministry of Ayush also has a lot of schemes which actually support this medicinal plant growers. So maybe heard from Dr. R.K. Gupta MGD, lot of other technologies from Khadi and textile sections, and also micro and small industry, suitable technologies for that. MGD is really, everybody knows about it, and they have established themselves by working on various technologies. So anyone can take their help to build upon the adaptation, technology adaptation. And also we had emerging technologies for rural appliances, especially for energy related, and a lot of startup opportunities are there by the Vikram Saraf, S&T Park, Pune. There is also a very innovative ideas he has presented, and a lot of potential is there. And similarly, this is more of Dr. Shashank C. ILRB Hyderabad, he has also presented a bouquet of technologies, a number of glass feed-based technology which can be easily adopted, and a lot of collaboration is there. So, just to conclude, I feel everywhere it is a conducive atmosphere is there. Now, how best we can make use of it, we would also be eagerly waiting for your suggestion to take all these things forward. And I am sure the bodies of PFL, FICI, DST, your all the suggestions will really positively taking it forward. Maybe some new mechanism can be evolved, because the COVID has taught us so many things that we need to be self-sufficient, Atma Nirbhar, and we have the potential. We have got beautiful creativity, and we have good technology. So I wish everybody the very best and happy Diwali in advance. And I feel we also should emerge as a big, this Setu should be very successful in creating a science and technology innovation pillar for the country, which will have the better potential. Thank you all for joining, and thank you all. Thank you. I will conclude here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
लेकिन पता नहीं क्यों ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे